you write down together, means of that or that which. Okay. Then fa, ta, and ha means to open. Fataha means to open. Okay. When we say Fataha Makkah, it means Makkah was opened and was Muslims for the Muslims to enter. So Fataha, one of the meaning of Fataha is to open or to reveal. Okay. So if you combine these with the three Fatahs, Fa, Ta, Ha, it becomes a grammar of third person. He opened.
Fatah also victory?
Yeah, Fatah also means. Victory means to open actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because when the armies enter into the city, they got the victory, which means the city was open for them. Okay. So Fataha means he opened. But the word after that is Allah, so we don't have to translate he, we will translate Allah opened. Okay, so this word is that, of that, Allah opened. Or Allah revealed, or Allah informed. Fatah Allah, Allah opened or informed. And the next word is alaykum. Allah means upon. Allah and kum means you. Upon you. And kum is a plural. So when you write down these together, it becomes alaykum. Alaykum means upon you. So if you translate now, what is happening? Alu, they said to each other. One group of Jews said to the other, Atuhaddisunahum, did you inform them? Or why did you inform them? Bima fatahallahu, that which Allah has opened to you, which means that which Allah has written in Torah and informed you that a prophet will come. Why did you tell them? Okay. Bima fatahallah means something that Allah has revealed, Allah has informed, Allah has told you in Torah that a prophet will come. This was a secret information we should have kept only within among ourselves. Why did you tell Muslims such a thing? Okay. So this is what they said. Then they further said something. They said, liyuhajjukum bihi. So let's look at that word. Okay. So this word is again made of several words, several parts. We will break it down, become easy. So this is a combination of li, yo, haju, and kum. It's made of three parts. Okay. Li, yuhaju. You make sure you pronounce jim twice. If you say lihaju, that's not correct. Jim has a shadda. Many people just reading fast don't pronounce jim twice. Li yuhaju kum. Okay. So let's look at these words here. Okay. The middle word is made of, starts with these three letters, ha, jim, and jim. Three letters. Ha, ja, ja. Okay. These are three letters, so they belong to the group fa'ala. Okay. Now, if these are three letters, we can make another word by adding one more letter, alif, in the middle of these two. here. I said that we can make bigger letters from small letters, bigger words from basic 3 letters. So 3 letters are ha, ja, ja. And if I put an alif here between these 2 letters, it becomes 4 letters. And this word will become ha, alif, jim and jim. Ha, ja, ja. What's the meaning of ha, ja, ja? Ha, ja, ja means to have an argument. To argue. Hujjat. Okay, commonly word normally is hujjat. What is hujjat? Argument. So that is the root of this word. This means to argue. Okay. Or to dispute. Or to have an argument. Okay. Now remember that the characteristic of when we make 4 letters, for the words that have 4 letters, it becomes a situation of 2 parties. Because hujjat is done among 2 people. Hujjat is not done with 1 person. So the characteristic of this word is having an argument between 2 groups or 2 different people. Okay? The meaning of hajja is to have an argument between 2 parties. Okay? Now, going back to the word fa'ala, and if I put a ya in the beginning and guna at the end, this means to do. Okay. Ya is they and present tense. And this is for plural. So when you say a word that has a ya in the beginning and guna at the end, which means talking about the present tense in 3rd person. We saw when there was a ta was for 2nd person. And ya is for 3rd person, they. Okay? So yafa'aluna means they and present tense. If I do the same thing, if I put a ya in the beginning and guna at the end, the word will become yuhajjuna. Yuhajjuna means they argue. Yuhajjuna means they having an argument. They are disputing. They are having a hujjah. They are blaming each other. So the word will become yuhajjuna is the word. Yuhajjuna. They argue. Ya in the beginning, guna at the end brings the meaning of they and plural and present tense. So the word is yuhajjuna. Okay? This is the actual word yuhajjuna. Now, if I put a lam here with a kasra, the meaning of this letter with a kasra, li, means so that. So that. And it is called, those who know Urdu, take. So that. Li means so that. Okay? So when you put a condition, this is a condition, so that. Okay? When you put li, and if I take out this noon from here, okay, slight change comes in the meaning. The meanings become li yuhajju means so that they may argue. So the meaning will become they may argue.
Question.
So we are bringing the meaning of may here by adding this li and taking out the noon. So it's not a definite thing. Now it's a possibility of happening. They might argue with you. They might have an argument with you.
So when there is li and there is a noun, then li means fall,
Yeah.
right? So what condition
Li
when
has-
it becomes so that?
Li
Is there
has
any
many
condition?
meanings. No, li
Yeah,
has
okay.
23 different meanings.
Okay.
Lam with a fatha or kasra,
Okay,
lillahi, and many other
okay.
meanings.
So there is no.
Lam ta'keed
Yeah.
is where it just
It's surety,
emphasizes
yeah.
surety.
Yeah.
So in this case, the grammar, this is called jumla shartiya, a conditional statement. Conditional statement starts with so that. Okay? Taake. Okay? But to make a conditional statement is not a definite statement. So in English you have to bring may or might, or can or could. Okay? And in Arabic you have to drop a noon and bring the meaning of may. So meaning will be so that they may argue with you. So that, why did you tell them that something is written in the Torah? So these Muslims might have an argument against you. Okay? They can have a hujjat with you. Okay? So liyuhajjukum means they may argue. Okay, so that they may argue. Okay. Okay, bihi, be and who. Be means about and who means it. Okay. So when you combine these, it is written this way. In the tajweed, who is recited as he, because of this kasra here to make easy on the tongue. So if you say bihu, it is not very easy to pronounce. So pronunciation becomes bihi, but separately these are two different meanings of the words. So bihi means about it. About what? About the statement you made. Muslims may argue with you about something you said to them, that there is something written in the Torah. Why did you say so? Okay. Then the word is inda rabbikum. Okay. So the word is rabbun. Rabbun means Lord. Kum means you or your. And when you combine these two, it will become Rabbokum, your Lord. Rabbokum means your Lord. So the actual word is Rabbokum, because the actual word is Rabbun. When you combine these, then one dhamma goes away. You say Rabbokum, your Lord. When you put inda before that, inda means with. Okay. Inda is a harf jar. It changes this dhamma to a kasra, and it becomes inda rabbikum, with your Lord. Now what is the meaning of with your Lord? With your Lord is that on the day of judgment, when they are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these Muslims will say that these Jews came and they verified, they testified that they knew about this prophet. So they cannot have any, now there will be no excuse for you, because you are admitted to them that what was written in the Torah became true, and you still did not believe in that prophet. So you will be made responsible of your denial in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So why did you say such a thing? The next ayat, which we will do inshallah next time, is very powerful. It says, don't they know that Allah knows everything? He doesn't need Muslims to verify that. So here, this shows their ignorance. They think Allah does not know what they are saying. Only when Muslims will tell Allah, then Allah will know that these Jews said something. Okay? So this is what inda rabbikum is, with their Lord, with your Lord. Or in the presence of your Lord. Okay? Then they said one more thing to each other. They said, Afala ta'qilun. Okay, so let's look at those words. Okay. So the first word is made of a, fa, and la. 3 words. Okay. A, fa, la. Okay. And then these 3 letters, Ain, Qaf, and Lam, means to understand. Yes, Aqal is understanding. It's from the same root letters. Okay. Aqala means to understand. Okay. So if I put a ta in the beginning and muna at the end, it becomes the meaning of present tense, you. Okay. So ta'qiluna means you understand. Okay. Taqiluna, you understand. Okay. Now, so let's write down that. Taqiluna, which means you understand. Okay. La means not. Okay. So if you translate these 2 words, La ta'aqiluna, it means you do not understand. Ta'aqiluna means you understand. When you make a negative or putting a la, becomes you do not understand. Okay? And fa means so. So now you can say, so you do not understand. Or then you do not understand. Okay? Now this alif is the same again here, a question mark. Okay? So now translate it as, you say, don't you understand? Don't you then understand? They are telling each other, you don't have any brains, don't have any aqal. What are you doing here? So they are criticizing those Jews who told Muslims the truth. That don't you have so much or little understanding or any brain in your head that you have spoken such a thing to them. So, afala taqilun will mean, don't you understand? Okay. Fala taqilun means you do not understand, but afala, don't you understand in English. So this is what the meaning is, that afala taqilun, so don't you understand? So it's not that they are asking a question, but they are criticizing them by saying that, don't you understand such a simple thing, that you have told them the truth about what is in the Torah, and these Muslims will have an argument against you on the Day of Judgment, that you confirm this prophet, and then we will have nothing to say because we are not believing in this prophet. So that is what the conversation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has quoted in the Quran about the Jews, Bani Israel, the Jews in Medina.
Is it something like a group of people went there? They say we believe, and during conversation they talk about it, and when they came out, some of them were arguing with other of them, why did you tell them? They're going to testify it.
So this is what the whole thing is, from beginning to end. That's what happened. That some Jews went to some Muslims, and they said, yes, we found in our book written about this prophet. When these people went back to their own Jews, and they told them that, we went and told Muslims, those Jews probably got mad at this. So why did we tell them? Don't you understand that they will have an argument on the Day of Judgment that you confirmed about what's written in the Torah?
So the don't meaning is conveyed by the lam alif la or the alif a there?
No.
In afala.
Afala. Okay.
So not understand is the don't conveyed by not or by that question mark alif?
No. This is, first you, as I said, translate from backward. First translate this one, right? Taqilun, you understand. Then add line there. Okay, so it becomes la taqilun. Now this is a negative statement. You do not understand. Okay. Then you add this word in there. So you do not understand. Now as soon as you put the last one, meaning will be, don't you understand? It becomes a question. But it is not a question, it's a criticism. Don't you understand? Which means you really understand, but you have made a mistake there. You have done something wrong. So this is what the translation has to follow in this order. Okay? So inshallah we'll stop here. We'll continue next time.
Thank you.